Hey, thanks for coming in today, everybody. We are back in this beautiful, beautiful Cessna 170 by Coronado. We're going to do some flying, obviously. We're going to go fly the Skyline Route, because why not, right? We are right here. We're at Kobelt, which is in Wallkill, New York, November 4-5. Not too far from where I live, chat. Kobelt. Or Kobelt. I think it's Kobelt. That's how you pronounce it for November 4-5. We'll take off out of here. We're going to go pretty much not due east. We're going to go slightly southeast. We're going to try and avoid the Stewart Delta and the Dutchess Delta. Come out over to the river here. Follow the river down south, like we've done so many times before. We're going to do the Skyline Route, so we'll be talking to ATC if there is ATC online. They've got some nasty weather down here, so that could make things interesting a little bit further down the line. Since there's a storm that looks like it's kind of going past Kennedy, but we're going to attempt to get down here and along here all the way to our favorite Bayport Aerodrome. Again, the weather is kind of all there in the forecast. The plan for Bayport is to land on runway 18, and since that's what the wind is favoring, and we're gonna just kind of have to go and see what the weather is doing when the time comes over there. Let me go ahead and get connected to VATSIM here and get Rex Weather Force going, and do all these good things so that we can get set up and started. Let Rex Weather Force inject the weather for us, and I'm gonna do some stuff off screen in terms of getting a flight plan going and getting set up for our adventure along the Hudson tonight. We're gonna have some fun tonight, chat. We'll see how that weather is when we get down south there along the Skyline Route, and worst case scenario, we turn around and find another way to Bayport. But the idea is we want to get to the Bayport Aerodrome tonight and get a landing in at Bayport. And when we get closer to Bayport, we'll run the famous Bayport Aerodrome YouTube video. Well, that is not what I'm looking for. Bayport Aerodrome. I'm off screen talking to myself here. There's the famous video. We're gonna get that video primed and ready to go. Nope, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Nope, incorrect. Incorrect, computer. Sorry, chat, I'm doing stuff off screen. That's pissing me off. Here we go. Okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but let's set that load up. Okay. Like I said, we'll run the Bayport video when we get closer. Dub Aviator, thanks for coming in today. Someone's messaging me. Let's get this airplane going, chat. I'm talking way too much. Oh, we need to get rid of that GPS. We're not using GPS tonight, boys and girls. We are not. We're going to do this by sight. I know this route pretty freaking well. Let's get the static elements off. Let's go into the weight and balance real quick. I'll tack on a little bit of fuel. I don't think we're going to need more than that. Okay. So the airplane should be pretty well and firmly ready. We're going to go ahead and turn the batteries on, turn the avionics on. I'm going to turn just everything on, pretty much get myself ready to go here. We'll get the mixture in. The parking brake is set. Everything's pulled on. Carb heat, no, we don't need. Cabin heat pull, we don't need the carb heat. It's pretty hot out in New York right now. All we need to do is a little bit of, where is the primer? Where are you, primer? There's the primer. And then we're going to look out here, open the window, and we are going to yell, clear prop, and we're going to fire this baby up. Just like that. Boom. Alright, easy peasy. We're all set. Airplane is started. Our cylinder head temp is going to go all the way to the max because they haven't fixed that glitch yet. I'm still waiting for them to update this airplane a little bit, get it going, but there she is. All bright and shiny, started up, ready to go. We've talked about a route. If you're just getting in and you missed the route conversation, that's okay. We're just going to do it, and you guys are going to watch, and you guys are going to learn, and you guys are going to enjoy, hopefully, what I'm about to have happen here. So we're taking off out of Kobelt, Wallkill, Kobelt, right here, boom. So we got a runway 321, 2864 of asphalt. It's not the best asphalt in the world. We've tried to land there once in real life before. It wasn't great. Pretty bad asphalt. Yeah, that's all the notes. So just left downwind departure because we're going to go out towards the river here. So we'll do a little left downwind departure. We'll keep it tight because we don't want to touch the Newburgh-Stewart class Delta airspace. We don't want to touch the Duchess class Delta airspace either. So we're going to try and keep it nice and tight. We're going to go right onto this about 120 heading roughly to get to the river so that we can avoid all the airspace when we take off out of here. Wind 240 at 6 at Stewart. So we'll use runway 21 here over at Kobelt. So runway 21 is going to be which way? It's going to be to our right. So we're going to have to we're going to make a right turn to go to the runway. All right, very good. Let's get everything set. We got live weather cooking. It's not real time. Real time, we'd be getting too close to nighttime. We can't land at Bayport at night, so we're going to use daytime setting, but we are real weather. We'll see what kind of weather we get when we get closer down towards like Kennedy, where there is a storm going on in real life. So that'll be fun when we get there. But let's remove the parking brake and let's get it started. We're gonna watch this baby wiggle her way to the, and I mean wiggle. Look at this. Look at the body roll on this thing, chat. Ready? Look at how the body rolls. That high center of gravity. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. If any of you decide to unfollow me after what I just said, that's fine. I understand. Oh, we almost ground looped her there. Gotta be careful. But yeah, you guys can see the body wiggle and roll and all that good stuff going on. We'll taxi on down here to the end of runway 2 run. Take off on Unicom. Talk to New York approach when we get airborne to get some flight following down the Hudson. This airplane is loud. I remember that now. So we are going to go into here, turn it down a wee bit. Kobelt traffic. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, departing runway 21. Left turn to the east. Kobelt traffic. So we're not actually going to do a full left down departure, it's going to be a left turn to the east. It'll be like a left crosswind almost to the east, chat. Pilot 23. Thank you, Ian, for the 11-month resub. I appreciate you, buddy.
PLT23 just subscribed. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for coming in today, my friend. I really appreciate it. Just in time for me to take off. Oh, I realize why it's loud. Close the window. That'll make it a little less loud. This thing's a little sensitive when you get her up on her nose, but once we get up to speed, we pull back and away she goes. We're flying. We get up here and we will turn left to, again, about that 120 heading is what we're going to get onto. Clear left. Turn about 120. Go towards the Hudson so that we don't hit any of the airspace, the Class Delta at Stewart or the Class Delta at Duchess. Again, I'm just using a compass to make the turn here, so it's a little difficult to roll out on exactly the 120 heading that we need. And I'm only going to climb up to 1,500 feet. That's about all the altitude I should need for this journey tonight, is that 1,500. I think right at about this heading. Where's the compass going to roll out to? Is where I'm going to be safe and clear of the class deltas. And then, like I said, when we get to 1,500 feet, we'll level off. So honestly, right about here is going to be good. We'll keep it at 2,400 RPM. We'll cruise nice and semi-fast tonight. Titanium Druid, thanks for coming in today. It's good to see you, buddy. How's work treating you? Hopefully not super duper busy. Hopefully it's calming down a little bit for you. I'll tell you what, Chad, I think I might have made the airplane a little bit too quiet. Oop, that's not what I want at all. Let's go back to where we had it. There we go. That's better. We don't want to drift too far off of this 120 heading because we're trying to stay out of the Stewart class Delta airspace. So in order to do that, we need to stay roughly on this heading. I might actually need more than 1,500 feet just to clear this little bit in front of me here, chat. So I'm going to actually climb up a little bit. We'll get clear, and then we'll go, once we're over the river, get down to the 1,500 and try and trim her out steady there. We're also going to pick up flight following here on 128.12 is covering the Catskill sector as it stands right now, chat. So we're going to talk to him. New York approach, Cessna 124, Mike Charlie.
Cessna 124, Mike Charlie, New York approach.
New York approach, good evening. Cessna 124, Mike Charlie is 2,000 feet, about 4 north of Stewart. Like VFR flight following to the south. We would like to head down the Hudson and eventually get the New York City Skyline Route going to 2-3 November.
Remember, 124, Mike Charlie, walk 0302. Stewart altimeter 3009 or heavy aircraft.
Alright, Squawking 0302, Cessna 124, Mike Charlie. So now that we have...
Mike Charlie, we're to contact 6 miles northeast of Stewart Airport. Altitude and direction to your discretion. You're going to be following the Hudson southbound to join the Skyline Route.
And that's the plan for Cessna 124, Mike Charlie. You can pick up the Bravo clearance when we get a little bit closer down there.
Roger, thanks.
Only about 13,000 audits by companies. Oh my god. That's a lot. That's a big number. Titanium Druid, that's a big, big number, my friend. Good luck with that, sir. Alright, like I said, we're going to now descend back down to that 1,500 feet now that we kind of cleared that little hill there. Go out over towards the river here. We got the Newburgh Beacon Bridge right out in front of us here, Chet. That's the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. Pretty much, you know, my homelands, if you will, and then we're going to follow the river south. Easy peasy stuff. Nothing crazy about tonight so far. We'll see what the weather looks like when we get a little bit closer down south.
So that's 1186, near departure, runway right, taxi via left Bravo, Echo, cross runway 3 and right.
Get us down to that 1,500 feet, and we'll go from there.
Central aircraft information, fast shot current to Kennedy, altimeter 3012.
Very good. We'll level off here. 1,500 feet.
4,
See if we can't get this thing
Roger.
trimmed out nice and
Make a
nice.
Right Bravo, left Foxtrot to the right.
Hands off. Let's see how the trim is. Oh, I think we got her trimmed right down to the T, chat. Oh, yeah. How about that? Pretty much fly hands off now.
At Juliet, give way to JetBlue A321. Right and left.
Beautiful. Kitty Monster, thanks for coming in today, buddy. Good to see you. Why are they all so quiet on the ATCs? Let's increase that volume a little bit. But yeah, we got it trimmed out so good, we fly with our hands off pretty much right now. Look at that. Good to see a lot of familiar faces in the chat tonight. We will be taking the Hudson south, just like we're doing. In our beautiful little Cessna 170. And eventually we'll go to our favorite Bayport Aerodrome. Got our little Venturi pitot tube. I just love the way this thing looks. I think I like the red better than the blue, to be honest, but the blue ain't bad either on the middle there. But I'm gonna have to say that I think I prefer the red, if I'm gonna be honest. Blue ain't bad, but I think I prefer the red, chat. Newburgh Stewart Airport out over here in the distance. Got the east side of the river over here, so like Beacon, Cold Spring, all those kind of going south along the river here. We'll truck right on down the river, see what we find as we go out towards the south. There's a little bit of weather that we might have to contend with here, chat. This is what's going to make it interesting.
124 Mike Charlie. After the Hudson southbound, will you join the South Shoreline route eastbound?
And that's the plan for 4 Mike Charlie. Hudson River southbound over the Skyline. We'll descend down South Shore Kennedy, go eastbound along the South Shore Long Island towards Bayport Aerodrome. We got a little bit of weather to contend with potentially when we get down here, chat. A little bit of thunderstorm action. So we'll have to wait and see when we get a little bit closer what that weather's doing. And then it's also going to depend on if Rex Weather Force actually depicts that or not, chat. That's kind of also a big factor, whether or not it's actually going to show up in the sim with Rex Weather Force. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Somewhat pun intended, since there is a bunch of bridges down there, including right now the weather looks like it's right over the Verrazon Bridge. So that pun was a little intended, chat. A little bit. A little bit. Holding altitude like a champ, though. I've barely had my hand on the controls here, except for just tiny little slight adjustments here and there to maintain that 1,500 feet and then just to kind of turn to follow the river. Where's the nuclear plant? If you're talking about Indian Point, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I've lived here my whole life, and I have no idea what direction it is or where it even is. I'm not even gonna lie. Not even sure. No fucking clue. I think it's on the east end. Okay, well, like I said, I have no clue. I've lived here my whole life. I don't have a clue where it is. Just going to be 100% purely honest with you. I know this is West Point right here. This is West Point right here, chat. You got the big Mikey Stadium down here, the big football stadium for Army football. And then you got all the West Point complex. So we're going to make sure, obviously, we stay more to the east side of the river to kind of avoid that, so that we don't fly over the restricted area that they got kind of over West Point there. There's a helipad there as well. Yes, sir. There is a helipad over at West Point as well. And you can see the football stadium. There's kind of some buildings on the football stadium. Like, you can see the football stadium, you see the Army logo, and then the sim decided to put buildings there for some reason. So that's disrespectful, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Very disrespectful. The cylinder head temps are a concern. Yeah, that's a glitch that they need to fix in this airplane, that the cylinder head temps go straight to red. No matter what you do, that's just a glitch with the airplane. They'll eventually have to update that. Just join what's this? Oh, we just passed West Point, and there's Mikey Stadium, which is where the Army football team plays. Actually, that might not be, this might be the stadium. This is where they play, never mind. So that's just some other lesser field. This is where they actually play. You can see the stadium, so never mind.
Traffic on approach. I heard a carrier signal, but not any voice.
No disrespect then. So nothing was disrespectful. How about that? This is going to be the Bear Mountain Bridge right here, chat. Bear Mountain Bridge as we come along south here. We're going to fly past the Anthony's Nose, which is the little, there's a hiking trail that goes up right to this peak, right where my mouse is, chat, that I've actually hiked up before. Not that long ago. I think it was like a month or 2 months ago I hiked up. It's called Anthony's Nose, and it's right this peak right here that overlooks the Bear Mountain Bridge. $5 to go under the Bear Mountain Bridge? No, I'm not going to do that because I have a feeling it'll crash the sim. We're gonna go straight and level. I'm not gonna sell out for $5 tonight. I'm not hurting that bad for cash right now. I love that animated Sim Caesar High. That was one of the best emotes in the game. I'll do it for 10. No, I'll do it for 25. If he wants to give me $25, then I'll fucking go under the bridge. But I don't think this is one of those bridges you can survive going under. And to be honest, I'd like to do this flight without any interruption. So maybe not even 25, actually. I'm not a sellout, chat. I'm not a sellout. So yeah, Bear Mountain Bridge. Here's Anthony's Nose. It's kind of like right in the mountain here where I've been. I could pull up the picture, but honestly, I don't really feel like going off screen to show you the picture right now, chat. I'm sorry. I'm a little lazy at the moment. I was wondering if you'd be controlling ZNY tonight, but then I remembered it's not snowing, so you wouldn't. Hey, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes I control Kennedy when it's not snowing or raining, and sometimes I just get on, but I was in the mood to fly tonight, so Hooch Mania, thanks for coming in today. I have not done a whole lot of ATCing this month, but I've also been working and busy a lot of this month, so I'm gonna use that as my excuse. Plus, I'm in the mood to fly this beautiful little airplane that we got going on right here.
Approach 1160 is coming. Up at 1186, I read your line clear now.
Fantastic Cessna 170.
Yeah, we are ready to go. Holy charge. Up at 1186, fly runway heading wind 210 at 9er, runway 22 right clear for takeoff. Fly runway heading. Up at 1186, pick up.
Just landed in JFK. It was nice seeing some ATC on this evening. Yeah, you were probably talking to who we're listening to right now, our good friend William Clark, a friend of mine that I have met in person before. Good dude. So we are talking to him as well. Sorry I wasn't on the tower there for you, Hooch Mania, but I'm happy that you were flying into ZNY tonight. There's Indian Point, you think? Like right over here somewhere? Or I don't know, maybe. Like I said, I have no idea where it actually is. Be lying if I said I did. We're just gonna keep turning to follow the river here. Ian says hot tub. I'm not doing a hot tub stream, Chad. I don't have the body for that. I'm not a female, and I'm not an attractive male, so Those are things I can't get away with on Twitch. Flying up to Kennedy IRL tomorrow? Well, I hope you have safe travels, my friend. Good old JFK. I miss flying, like actually physically flying in and out of Kennedy and LaGuardia. But my company had to close its New York base, so now I'm Dallas based, and all I do is commute out of LaGuardia down to Dallas for work now. So I don't get to do any of the flying into or out of New York anymore. I just ride in this either the back seat or the jump seat. Usually, let's be honest, it's usually the jump seat. Somehow I managed to get a seat to and from work on this last trip in the back both times. Once on American and once on Delta, which was kind of cool, but usually it's going to be the jump seat. Power plant off my left? Okay, gotcha. Well, see, I just learned something. I've lived here all my life, and now I learned where it is. This controller is so quiet.
1300 for 5,000, 1186. Southwest 1186, finally maintain 7,000. Finally maintain 7,000 for Southwest 1182.
River opens up pretty big here. We'll just keep on following her down. Getting pretty close to the Class Bravo. Once we see the Tappan Zee Bridge, that's when we know we're going to be getting close to the Skyline Route. We're not going to do the exclusion or the callouts. We're just going to do the Skyline Route with ATC because it's easier. And in real life, it's definitely a lot safer to do that in real life, chat. I've done both ways in real life, and it's a lot safer to do the Skyline. So,
Southwest 1186, contact New York Center 125.32. 325 for 1182.
hopefully the frame rates hold up when we get down here. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I didn't even think, chat, actually, about the frame rates potentially with this plane going into the city while I'm streaming at 1080p, so I guess we'll cross that proverbial bridge when we get there. See if the frames hold up. Wow, this thing looks so incredible. Oh. Is the Colgate clock in this sim? I do not know, Good Fixins. We'll look for it. I don't think it is. Or if it is, it's not very well depicted, but we'll take a look when we get down there. I'm gonna get my nose down here just touch. Looks like we gained about 100 feet. We're gonna try and keep it nice and even at 1,500 feet tonight. Try and do as precise as I can in the sim with this airplane, get it trimmed out good and proper. There's the, what would be the Tappan Zee Bridge. Now, obviously, in the sim, it looks like pure dog shit. Just gonna be honest. Most of the bridges in this sim still look terrible. But that is the Tappan Zee Bridge that we're coming close to now, so we'll ask for the Bravo clearance here momentarily. And we're planning on runway 18 down at Bayport tonight. That's what the winds are favoring, which is definitely the more fun approach. When we get a little bit closer to Bayport, when we're over Long Island and kind of outside of airspace a little bit more, chat, we will switch off of ATC and I will run the video, the Bayport Aerodrome video that we all know and love so well. Run it through its, and I'm going to run it through its entirety tonight for you guys. We're going to run the whole video while I kind of circle around in the Great South Bay there, and then we'll go in and do a landing at Bayport. That's kind of what I have planned for the
approach.
You guys will get to enjoy the entire video again tonight, because I'm going to run it through when I get over the Great South Bay for you guys to enjoy, because it is probably one of the best videos of all time, with a lot of bias there. But we'll do that when we get much closer to our destination. We got to get all the way pretty much to the Great South Bay, really, before I run that up, get out of the city. Because we're going to enjoy the New York City skyline here momentarily when we do the Skyline Route as we get further south down here. So we'll have plenty to look at in just a little while as we come down the river. I'm going to get the outside view set up for that, because everything that we're going to really want to see is going to be mostly off our left side here. So we'll go ahead and use, that'll be a good angle for our outside views right there. That way I can just boop boop, hit a button, make it happen. Ian just sent me some information in our little Discord here. Let's see. Ian, you're in the Discord. Hello?
Hello.
Thanks for coming in today. You want to talk about this link that you just sent me?
Yeah, sure. So for your younger viewers that are between 15 and 25,
sorry.
that want to get some funds toward getting a private pilot certificate, the Make a Pilot Foundation has scholarship availability. It's $5,000 you could get toward your training. So if you want more information, you can go to their website. Requirements: you have to be between 15 and 25, U.S. citizen or permanent resident, meet the English ICAO standards, and be able to pass an FAA medical. More information about the application process on their website, but great opportunity to earn up or get up to $5,000 towards your training, and you know, there are good people behind the organization.
There you go, chat. Courtesy of Mr. Jones himself. Something to look into if you're between the ages of 15 and 25 watching the stream tonight.
Thanks for coming in today.
Eric Flight, thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for coming in today. Thank you for putting that event together for July 21st, and you're going to be hosting that on Wednesday next week. I appreciate you for doing that, my man. Thank you so much for coming into the stream tonight and for the resub. Near approach, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie coming up on the Tappan Zee Bridge, looking to get clearance into the Bravo for the Skyline Route southbound.
Center 124 Mike Charlie. Contact to LaGuardia Tower 118.7. They'll have Bravo
18.7, you got it.
1035, just going to maintain 8,000. Maintain 8,000.
LaGuardia Tower, good evening. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie.
Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, good evening. Thank you for the cinnamon buns. And cleared into the Bravo airspace. Maintain VFR at 1,500 feet for the southbound Skyline Route, sir.
Cleared into the Bravo 1,500 feet for the Skyline Route. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, thank you for coming in today.
My pleasure.
That's LaGuardia John, chat. He has a Twitch. And I'm pretty sure it's actually just LaGuardia John is his Twitch. Is he streaming right now? I don't know if he's streaming right now. He might not be. I gotta remember how to spell his Twitch username so I can shout him out in chat. Oh, it literally is just LaGuardia_John. So shout out LaGuardia_John. There you go. LaGuardia Tower at your service right there. LaGuardia John. That's his Twitch username. So let's see, Eric Flight wanted to double check with you to confirm that you have heading by compass only in this model. That is correct. Unless you have, you could also, if you decide to turn the GPS on, you know, you could have the GPS, that could give you a heading reading, you know, like that right there. But if you're flying without GPS, that's correct. The only thing that you have to show your heading is the compass. That is the correct answer. Oh, I can sense the sim starting to lag, chat, because it's starting to load up all of New York City, so bear with me as the sim starts to really kind of get a little bit on the laggy side here. I do apologize for the inconvenience. My computer is running its butt off. I can hear my computer whirling away down there with the fans, so I wish they would fix the George Washington Bridge. Some of the bridges in this game, like some of the more important ones, like the George Washington Bridge, the Verrazano, some of the other ones on this part of the river, the East River, they did a nice job on the bridges. But on this side of the river, the main part of the river, they just, I don't know why they haven't gone in and done an update to fix that. You would think, since it's such an important area where a lot of people are probably flying the sim along New York City, that they would go and fix the bridges, but whatever, chat. We are going to do our best to hug the right side of the shoreline here, as is appropriate when you're going south. You want to hold the west side of the river south. You go to the east side of the river when you're flying north. So we'll do our best to hug the west side of the river here as we fly along the Skyline Route south towards the Verrazano. Once we get to the Verrazano, we will descend down to 500 feet or below. We'll go to about 400 feet to go on the south shoreline of JFK. So that we can do that. That'll take us over to the south shore of Long Island. Eventually we'll get into the Great South Bay, go towards Bayport. We'll run the video when we get there too, so you guys can enjoy that. But again, he's not streaming tonight, but if you haven't already followed LaGuardia John, he's the one that's handling us currently as we start our Skyline Route here tonight. Eventually we will find our way back to New York Approach, since he's only covering LaGuardia Tower. There's nobody on Kennedy or Newark, so eventually we're going to go right back to that 2812 the rest of the way down the river, unless more guys start signing on here momentarily. Ooh, Kennedy is a little bit busy tonight, but I'm in the mood to fly, so that's alright. Weather looks good ahead. Weather does look good ahead in the sim. We'll see what happens, though, when Rex Weather Force decides to do an update, because right now the weather
November 45 Whiskey Golf.
is not exactly the greatest, according at least. Oh no, you know what? That weather's moved out, chat. It's a little bit of rain maybe when we get south here, but that weather's moved out, so I don't expect us to have any issues at all whatsoever going into Bayport now. I think we're going to be perfectly fine on the weather. So that kind of has changed up. Are there speed restrictions on that route? Yeah, I think no faster than 130 knots doing either the Skyline or the exclusion zone. You can't do faster than 130. At least from what I remember. Right now we're doing just shy of a $120 on the indicator there. So, but yeah, there is a speed. At least at the exclusion, you can't do faster than $130. I don't know about the Skyline route, but I think you're really not going to be flying something faster than that going down the Skyline route. Let's be honest. You're not going to be doing a $180 down there, especially if you're trying to take in and enjoy the view. You don't want to be steaming through there. On the Skyline route, you have ATC, so you get flight following, so there'll be traffic point outs in the works for any kind of traffic that might be in the area. That's why in the real world, when I do this, I do the Skyline route, because I want those ATC eyes on me. Because when you do this in the exclusion zone, which I've done before, it's a free-for-all, and it's dangerous, and I don't know how more people don't just end up whacking each other, mid-air. So I always do Skyline routes so that I have those ATC's eyes on me when I'm going down this corridor, because it can be very busy, especially on a nice day. Again, George Washington Bridge, even though it looks like such garbage in the sim, that's where it is. You can see the lag in the sim. We're just going to kind of have to deal with it, just because we're drawing a lot of objects in New York City. Supposedly, when Microsoft does their next big update, it's going to improve the performance of the game, so maybe I won't have this kind of lag when we get into the New York City area, but again, supposedly. We'll have to wait for that. Great Wall of the Hudson, that's definitely not what it is in real life. The George Washington Bridge is definitely not just a big old brick wall. So I can't believe, like I said, for such an important landmark in such what's got to be a very heavily trafficked area for the game, you would think that they would go in and fix that. Again, that's just me. It's my 2 cents.
LaGuardia Tower, November 45 Whiskey Golf. That was our last touch and go.
Okay, no problem. Next one's going to be a full stop landing then?
A turn, November 45 Whiskey Golf.
Awesome, thank you, sir.
So, the great city of New York right out in front of us. I do like having the addition of that, I forget what it's called all of a sudden now, but it's like this little VFR add-on pack that gives you like, there's little smokestacks. You can actually see the smoke coming up. That's pretty neat to see, actually, in the sim now. I already forgot what it's called. It's VFR something. Someone in the chat help me out if you remember. We love VFR. That's what it's called, chat. There it is. I got the link finally. I looked it up. So here you go. Here's the link. That's what gets you that. You see the little smoke coming up out here and stuff like that. It adds like towers and smokestacks and smoke coming out of the smokestack stuff. That's that. We love VFR add-on right there. I would highly recommend that if you do a lot of VFR flying Microsoft flights in 2020. There it is. I remembered, chat. My brain started working. My brain decided to start working again. Thank goodness. You can just see the lag as it's trying to load in all these buildings. It's not super bad, but it is annoying. I'm sure it's pretty annoying for the controllers too, seeing my dot go slowly across the ground with the lag, so I apologize to LaGuardia John and also our buddy William. See Yankee Stadium out here. Central Park.
And November 45 Whiskey Golf, wind 180 at
itself.
9, runway 13 clear to
Full
land.
view.
Runway 13 clear to land, November 45 Whiskey Golf.
As we lag our way through it. Oh, losing some altitude here. Let's go ahead and pick the nose up a bit. Bronx, and then eventually it turns into Upper Manhattan. And then Manhattan. Downtown. The biggest downtown in the States. And Central Park. Oh, the lag. My computer is probably smoking right now. Trying to hold it together while we do this. There's what should be the USS Intrepid right down here somewhere. I think it's supposed to be this one right here. It's supposed to be what the Intrepid is. Try and keep an eye out and see if the clock is going to be in there. Statue of Liberty is in there, though, which is nice. We won't do the circle around the Liberty tonight. We're going to just keep on trucking down south.
November 124 Mike Charlie, contact New York Center 125.32. Have an awesome evening, sir.
Alright, center 125.32. I guess we lost William there. Have a good night.
No, he's on, but he's not covering Newark, so we got to switch you to center to switch you back to Cam.
Oh, you guys are doing some fancy pants stuff. Alright, good night, buddy.
You too, sir. Have an awesome evening.
2532. Talk to all of our New York boys tonight, chat. 2812 will be next. Center, Cessna 124, Mike Charlie, Skyline Route 1500.
Cessna 124, Mike Charlie, New York Center, hello, the New York altimeter 3010.
3010, thank you for coming in today. Oh, I just want you to get the 2812 thing. Why are you being so hard? I know, I realize now that I went the long way around too. Good God. The lag isn't helping either. By the time we get there, I'm going to miss all the views. Like, I already missed the Empire State Building like a dumbass, so there we go. Madison Square Garden, Empire State Building. Let's get back more onto the...
2480, roger.
West side of the river here. Again, Empire State Building out off our left. Coming in through downtown Manhattan. Let's get back to our altitude of 1,500 feet. Wow, I got so distracted by the freaking comm panel there that I'm just losing it now. Throttle Junkie, thanks for coming in today. Hello. There we go. Let's get this back to a stabilized little aircraft here. Is the clock here? I don't see the clock. I think it's like right around here, is it not? Somewhere right over here. I think it's supposed to be where... Oh no, the clock is there. Look at that. Sure enough. There it is. Dip a wing real quick so you can see it, maybe. No, maybe not. Yeah, it's right there.
Southwest 1186, descent of maintain, flight level 200.
There it is, right there, down there. Bottom right corner. So it is there. Colgate clock. Very good. Of course, you got Statue of Liberty right there. That's kind of cool that that's in there. Again, Freedom Tower, Battery Park, down deep downtown, Financial District, Manhattan, right up to the water there.
Runway heading, runway T7.
Of course, you got Statue of Liberty, Liberty Island right here. You got Governor's Island, Ellis Island. Right here is Ellis Island. Yeah.
November 60155, the Wilkes-Barre Signature 3011.
Quite a view right there in our 170. New York City skyline right in the back.
And New York, number 6155, request.
Jet.
Any chance you give us a short cut, maybe the
East River all the way up here, but we're not going to go up the East River tonight. Alright. Very cool. Is that a good plane to learn on?
Proceed direct, Binghamton, Charlie Foxtrot, Bravo.
Throttle Junkie, do you mean in the sim or in real life? Is it a good plane to learn on? In the sim, sure. I mean, any of the planes in the sim are fine to use if you want to learn on it. I would say maybe not, though, this one, because it's probably going to be a lot harder to use a tailwheel aircraft in the sim than it is going to be to use just like a straight gear aircraft. So I would maybe do like a regular Cessna 152 or a Cessna 172 if I was you, to kind of get a better feel for a GA aircraft in the sim instead of using this one specifically. But in real life, you could go either way, honestly. Alright, Rex Weather Force is putting in weather chat. What are we going to get? How bad is it going to be? Because I see it in front of me, kind of adjusting right now. Are we going to get bad rains, and what are we going to get? No, it looks like just a high overcast. That's going to be more than good. A little bit of lightning. Oh, you see that, chat? A little bit of lightning and thunder out in the distance there. But that's not going to affect us where we're at right now. That's all that matters.
So 124 Mike Charlie, contact the approach 128.12, good night.
1281, wrong button. 12812 for Mike Charlie, good night. So you can see the lightning in the clouds and the lights and all that changing good stuff, but not going to affect us. Should be perfectly fine where we are, according to Rex Weather Force.
Gonna grab a chart real quick.
Approach Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, VFR 1500 coming up on the Verrazano.
Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, near approach, Kennedy altimeter 3012, right outside the Bravo airspace. Understand you'd like this South Shoreline route?
Hey firm, we'll descend down past the Verrazano down to at or below 500 South Shoreline Route Kennedy, head our way eastbound along Long Island.
Roger.
Just got my honeycomb yoke and throttle quadrant in today. Can't wait to set it up this weekend and start learning to fly. Oh, it's awesome, man. I hope you have a ton of fun with the yoke. I love my honeycomb yoke. I do not have the throttle quadrant because I don't have enough desk space, but the yoke is great, and I think you're going to have just an awesome time with it. So that's exciting stuff, man. So now that we're coming up on the Verrazano Bridge, chat, once we cross the bridge here, we're going to start our descent, and we're going to descend down to about 400 feet to get along the south shoreline here so that we can stay below the Bravo, south shore along the Kennedy class Bravo. So right about now, we'll start descending. Probably be a little bit easier actually in the flight sim than it would be in a space sim, if I had to guess. Keep this descent coming down all the way to 500 feet. We'll pass Coney Island off of its, Coney Island pass off our left wing, I should say.
Heavy coming out of Charlie 7, ready to taxi Foxtrot. Giant 539, near departure, runway 22 right, taxi left, Charlie, Echo. Charlie,
Far Rockaways right here that we're going to fly past. We're going to want to go right out to this shoreline right here. We need to stay south of this shoreline, so I'm going to kind of point my nose kind of right at it as we keep on going down to get below 500 feet. Say goodbye to the city.
2922, turn left heading 360, descend to maintain 3000.
Left 360 down to 3000, JP 2126.
Again, Coney Island right out here. Not exactly very well depicted either in the sim,
right.
but it's right out there. As you guys can see, there's the Ferris wheel.
Heading runway 22 right, clear for takeoff, wind 210 at 9er. Clear for takeoff, 22 right, JetBlue 1318.
Again, we want to get below 500 feet. And right out to this very tip of the shoreline here so that we are clear of the Kennedy class Bravo to the south. Call this the South Shoreline Route.
2922, speed your discretion.
Speed up my discretion, JP 2922.
So there's the 500. We're going to go, like I said, down right all the way down to 400 feet. We're going to do our best to maintain 400 feet to stay below the Bravo there. More intimidating to fly real planes compared to spacecraft. Oh, you're going to enjoy it, though. I mean, I fly planes in real life, and I still enjoy coming into the sim all the time and doing this stuff. So you are going to have a lot of fun learning all this stuff.
JetBlue 128 near converge, flight heading 180.
Almost looks like we could land on the beach, right, chat? There have been some people in the past that have done that. Land on the beach where they're not supposed to.
JetBlue 128 heading 180.
Heading 180, thanks, JetBlue.
Ooh, a little lightning bolt out there in the distance, but again, as long as it's not touching us over here, we're going to be just fine. Alright, we are here. Kennedy South Shoreline at or below 500. Now we just need to make sure we maintain below 500 feet until we get clear of the Bravo airspace.
JetBlue tuning 2922, turn left heading
Sim actually did a fairly decent job of depicting that
Yeah,
thunderstorm
313,
weather that's
yeah,
just to the south of Kennedy that we saw on the Sky Vector here. So you see right here, you got this little bit of weather, and the Sim actually doing a fairly decent job of depicting that thunderstorm that's right out here as we come along the South Shoreline. We shouldn't have any issue getting all the way to Bayport, but I applaud the Sim for kind of getting that right. We almost climbed up above that 500 feet. Let's get that nose down and stay at 400 feet here on the South Shoreline. Good job, Rex Weather Force.
22 right, line up and wait.
22 right, line up and wait, Giant 539 heavy.
You can see we have a departure out of Kennedy. That's why we stay below 500 feet along the South Shoreline, because you got aircraft that either arriving in or departing out of Kennedy, just like you see right there, right over the top. We got to make sure that we stay off of the shoreline, stay out of the Bravo. Come on, mouse, you're effing with me here. There we go. I do not remember what bridge that is, chat, I'll be honest with you.
070, 7000, JetBlue 1318.
I wish the lag would stop a little bit, but we seem to be doing alright. Big parking lot there for the beach. Just got some beachgoers scattered about on there in the Sim, that's pretty cool. It is hot right now in New York, summertime, obviously. Again, as long as we stay over the water and off the shoreline, we are clear of the Kennedy class Bravo below 500 feet. Throttle Junkie, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate you, man. First month, welcome to it. Thank you for coming in today, my friend. I really do appreciate it.
Charlie, next departure is a heavy 747, caution wake turbulence.
We'll caution the wake for Mike Charlie. Really appreciate that new subscription there, Throttle Junkie. Thank you so much. Enjoy your cinnamon bun. And the other emojis as well. Still see the city out there in the distance. That's pretty neat. We got weather all around us, but our path right now to Bayport is looking good. Not too concerned. Sim's making it look a lot scarier than it probably is in real life. But that's kind of just the nature of either of the Sims. It's the same when Active Sky and X-Plane 11 kind of makes the lightning and thunder more significant than it probably would be in real life when it depicts. Well, off our left here, you're going to soon see JFK, the airport, coming in. You can see the tower right there. That's Kennedy Tower, right where my mouse is. Coming up off our left side.
1318, fly heading to 050.
There's that 747 departure that he warned us about.
539 heavy traffic, 1 o'clock.
Let her go. That's an awesome view in the Sim right there. That is beautiful.
Inside, Giant 539 heavy.
Gorgeous. Nope, watch my altitude. Good stuff. Reading that update 5 coming out in the MS is really, I was talking about that right before I hit the city. I'm hoping that that's actually the case, so that way I'll be able to do this flight without having the lagging issues when I get towards New York City. So hopefully that they, with that next update, that will be what they say it is, where it'll be a performance update for everyone, because then maybe maybe I won't have the lag issues when I go into those busier areas like New York City, which would be awesome to not have those lagging issues.
3806, we're going to maintain 8,000. 8,000, and 539, turn left heading 130.
130, Giant 539.
She's cruising in the shade right now. So we get a little bit closer to Jones Beach and come out of the Class Bravo. We'll climb up to about 1,000 feet. Once we get over to that part of Long Island and get to that 1,000 feet, that's probably when I'll start running the Bayport Aerodrome video on YouTube. So you guys will be able to learn how to get in and out of Bayport Aerodrome. And then we will plan on the 1-8 arrival into Bayport this evening. And I just realized that I got to turn my landing rate meter on. So let's get the G's meter on so you guys can see just how good or not good my landing is going to be when we do get to the Bayport Aerodrome. Once I clear the Bravo here, I'm going to cancel the flight following and switch over to Unicom. That'll be something that we do as well.
Center 125.32,
12532, good day, thank you.
I'm running a 2070 Super, so that'll be
the
awesome.
Bravo shell, would you like to check out, or are you like following to Bayport?
We'll check out once we're clear of the South Shoreline here for 4 Mike Charlie. It's almost like that controller was reading our minds, Chad. I wonder if he's watching us.
Giant 539 heavy.
He read my mind there. He's asking me because he knew I was probably preparing to check out, go VFR, clearing the Bravo. William is a good controller. William Clark.
Ricard 3806, I'm trying to maintain 7,000. 7,000 Ricard 3806.
Oh yeah, you should have very good improvement. I think we all will hopefully get improvement like they're saying if it works out the way that they're saying it will. But I'm looking forward to that update. Still the only person in the world? I'm sure you're not the only person in the world that's not playing MusFuss. I'm sure there's plenty of guys that are still just using X-Plane 11 instead of using VATSIM 2020 Kitty Monster, so you don't have to feel that way. I'm going to get my phone ready with the chat for you guys so that way I can see you guys chatting while I run the video for the Bayport Aerodrome.
Good evening, Delta 155, we need 10,000 direct renew.
New York approach, United 265, mic check.
Yeah, 265, regional line Delta 155, heavy.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't get the Bravo throttle quadrant is because I just don't have any desk space left, so it just is what it is. We're going to get the check out here as soon as we can.
Good maintain 4,000, check the ILFT2 Delta 15.
124 Mike Charlie, squawk VFR for exchange crew.
Squawk VFR for exchange crew for Mike Charlie. Thanks for coming in today.
You as well. Cinnamon months are waiting in the tray count.
You bet. You bet.
Step Luther.
I'm going to do the easy way of getting to Unicom on the V-Pilot there. I just typed .com 122.8. So now we're on Unicom. We're at clear of the Bravo. We're going to climb up to 1,000 feet here now, chat. Just 1,000 feet. Because it's still Bravo above 1,500. So we'll climb up to 1,000 along Jones Beach here. We'll get into the Great South Bay. And momentarily is when I'm going to be running this Bayport Aerodrome video here, chat. Very momentarily. As in, let's go ahead and while I'm getting closer to Bayport, let's run the video.
The purpose of this video is to acquaint pilots who are unfamiliar with the Bayport Aerodrome to the procedures in approaching and departing the aerodrome safely and without conflict with the ISLIP Class C airspace. The common traffic advisory frequency at the Bayport Aerodrome is 122.7.
We will use 122.8 since that's the VATSIM standard.
Or 120.05, depending on which section you're approaching from. Here in this part of the video, we are departing on runway 36. We have a displaced threshold on runway 36, but you can use the entire runway for your departure. After we take off on 36, there is a commercial development just to the north of the airport. We fly over that. And then there's a housing development with 15 brand new luxury homes. If you can make a turn before you go over the houses, that's fine. If you can't, practice safe flying. Make your left turn till you cross Wind Lake, and then another left turn flying over the lakes, which you see here in the video. These are called the Sans Souci Lakes. Do not go above 700 feet. This is basically your downwind leg. We do not have closed traffic at the Bayport Aerodrome. Anytime you take off from the runway, you must fly your airplane all the way out to the Great South Bay, then turn around and come in, execute the proper approach procedure for the runway. We have a lot of traffic at the airport that does not use radios. We have many antique airplanes there that do not have radios, and we have students that take flying lessons. So please just remember that. But you can come to the Bayport Aerodrome without a radio. All you have to do is approach below 700 feet, and we have a keyhole cut out for us, and it's not a problem. Islip MacArthur Airport, which is located just north of our airport, is our controlling facility. You can call Islip, or if you call flight service, you can tell them that you want to know about NOTAMs for the Bayport Aerodrome. They'll be on the Islip NOTAMs. As you get down towards the Great South Bay, you can stay to the right. The river turns a little bit to the left right there, and you can stay to the right and stay away from the marina. This gives incoming aircraft some extra room. But when you approach to land on runway 18, you'll come straight up the river between the jets. And you can call 122.7 and advise Bayport traffic.
122.8 on VATSIM.
Over the shoreline for 18 Bayport. Or Bayport traffic, Cessna over the shoreline for 36 Bayport. That's all you have to say. If you look here, you'll see this
and
big
this
white
is
house.
talking about runway 36, chat. We're going to be going into runway 18 tonight, so when that comes up, I'll talk about more about
all
it.
the way up to the school. Notice the school on the right-hand side, lower right-hand side of the screen. That's the Bayport High School. And we are going to fly up along the west end of that high school property. And when you look down, you'll see the Long Island Railroad tracks. You will make a right turn, and now you're on base, making a right turn onto base. So we have a left base to runway 36. A right turn onto a left base for runway 36. It's a very short base to final, and we make a left turn to final, and there's our two runways. One runway will be closed, and the other runway will be used. They're generally marked with an X, whichever is closed, and the open one is the one with the white threshold markings, and generally where the other airplanes are landing. Don't hit the VATSIMs, please. The elevation of our airport is 42 feet. Okay, here we are. We're taking off on
So this is
runway
taking off on runway 18. You just fly straight out to the shore below 700.
And all you got to do is climb up to about 600 to 650 feet and go straight ahead. But anyway, if you look down, there's the nice houses down there. And again, once you get down to and cross the shoreline and you're over the water of the Great South Bay, you can go up to any altitude except above 1,500 feet. You must stay below 1,500 feet unless you
We're getting there, good
call
fixings,
your
we're getting there.
approach and get clearance into the Class C airspace. Now, you can keep on going straight out to Fire Island, which doesn't really show up too well in the video, but it's only about 3 miles offshore, straight ahead. And once you get to Fire Island and cross the Barrier Island, then you can go up to any altitude you want. You're in uncontrolled airspace out there, knock yourself out, Down there on the right, in the center of the screen,
Now here's
you'll
what we
see
need to
the
watch,
jetties
Chad.
coming
This is the
out by
approach to
the
1-8. Keep an eye on this. This is what we're going to do
where
today.
the ferry boats go in and out, and we're going to fly directly up that river. That river there is called Browns River, and that's going to give us the approach for runway 1.
This is what we're doing, Chad.
When
Pay
you're
attention.
about here, you'll call
22.8,
Bayport Aerodrome
VATSIM.
at 122.7 and say Bayport traffic, Navy, N3N, over the shore for 18 Bayport. Notice we're banking slightly to the right because the river does split. Up ahead, you'll see what they call the San Souci Lakes, and we're staying above those lakes. And just to the right of the screen, you'll notice now that the Bayport Aerodrome is in sight. You'll notice that when we start to parallel the runway, we should call Bayport traffic, Navy, downwind, runway 18 Bayport, because now you've entered downwind. And we're going to get ready to turn base. What we want to do is keep one thing in mind. Right down there where you see all that traffic, that's
Sunrise
Sunrise
Highway.
Highway, Route 27.
Do not cross it.
We don't want to cross Sunrise Highway because that puts us in Islip MacArthur's airspace from the surface to 1,500 or to 700 feet. So we want to stay south of Sunrise Highway. We are turning base, and we're going to be turning final. You'll notice that your base to final is very short. It's almost a U-turn, especially if you have a tailwind from the west when you turn, or a wind from the west. So here we are lined up with the runways for runway 18. Be sure you land on the open runway. We expect you to do a good job.
When you're making your approach to runway 18, make sure you don't cross Sunrise Highway because you're going to go into airspace that we don't belong in. See? When you're taking off runway 18, make sure when you lift out, you don't go above what? 700 feet. You go straight out to the bay. Don't go left, don't go right. Big trouble. After you're out past the shoreline there, you can go up to 1,000 feet and not worry about it. See? When you approach, I forgot to tell you, when you approach from runway 18 from the water, make sure you come in over those 2 jetties. They're a good thing to line up on, and then follow the lake all the way down. The airport will be on the right side. See? Make it back.
You know, last year, I couldn't even spell aviator. Now I are.
Another thing, welcome guests. If you want to know any more, you call this number or this email. Okay? Can't wait to see you.
There you go, Chad. That's the glorious, fantastic, everything you need to know about Bayport Aerodrome video. So now we're going to plan on approaching into runway 18 at Bayport Aerodrome. So if we look right here, Bayport Aerodrome, 39 feet, field elevation. It's got a 1836. We just watched the tutorial video on how to get in and out of the field. So we're going to do it now on stream. Let's make it happen. To be fair, Chad, I've done this not only several times in the sim, I have also done at least a half dozen landings in Bayport Aerodrome in real life. Now, it's been a long time. I haven't done one since, like, I think 2014 was the last time I did a landing at Bayport Aerodrome in real life, so it has been a long time, Chad. But I have done it before. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy going into the drag strip there. So, there you go. That's one of the most glorious videos you're ever going to find on YouTube. The how to Bayport Aerodrome. We are going to be doing the runway 18 approach over the jetties, follow Browns River to the San Souci Lakes, and make the right base to final turn before Sunrise Highway. Someone put a poll that says, do you think Mike has crossed Sunrise Highway? Oh boy. In the sim, yes. In real life, no. I just give away the answer right there. There's your poll answer. How is the 170 flight model? I love it. Probably one of the best Carenado products that I've ever owned. There's a lot of things that they do still need to fix in an update, but if they do eventually hammer out those fixes, then this is going to be one of the best general aviation airplanes in Microsoft flights in 2020, bar none. I mean, it's a beauty. And it flies well too. I really enjoy how it flies. It's a little iffy on the ground sometimes. It can be a little sensitive when you're up on the wheels, the nose wheels on the ground trying to taxi or land or whatever, but great airplane. Well worth the $15. I gotta get the music back going here, chat. So we are over the Great South Bay. We're gonna get a little bit closer to where the aerodrome is, which is pretty much like right at about where my mouse is pointing right here is about where we're going. And then I will start to get below 700 feet so that I can get into the cutout and remain clear of the Isoplash Charlie airspace on our way in. Been holding off because of the VR issues. Unfortunately, Banzai, I do not know anything about VR when it comes to any sim because I don't use VR at all. I know that there are a bunch of guys, I do know a handful of guys I should say that do use it, and yeah, I know that there's still been a lot of VR issues with Flight Sim 2020 that hopefully they will iron out, but I don't really have much experience myself with that, so it's unfortunate that it still is kind of buggy. Something that I really thought they would have had kind of ironed out before they even released the game. You would think at least that that's something that they should have had ironed out before they released the game, but you know. We've talked a lot about this stream about the stuff that has been good with this game and the stuff that hasn't been good with this game. And one of the things that hasn't been good with this game yet is VR. But the visuals in this game are great. Sometimes the physics of the game are not so great. This plane might be a little bit of an exception once it's in the air. On the ground, it's still pretty brutal. But yeah, there's a lot to like about Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and there's still also a lot to dislike about Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. And really, I'll be honest, chat, I thought that there's a lot more that they should have had done before they released it. I think we're all still very much beta testers. Even though we paid full price for the game, I still think we're all still very much beta testers for Microsoft and Asobo. Two people voted yes. In real life, I've never crossed Sunrise Highway, chat, but in the sim, I'm sure I have. So right here, chat, it doesn't depict it very well in the sim, but this is where the jetties would be, is right pretty much where my mouse is, right here, I believe. There's a little bit further up, let's see. It's hard because in real life it'd be easy to spot, but in the sim, not so much. Yeah, I think it's right here. Right here in the sim, this river is going to be Browns River. There's the jetty right there. So that's going to be our entry point into runway 18 for Bayport. So it's happening, chat. We're coming up on it. We're going to start to slow down here and get ourselves prepared for this. If you want to start putting landing rate guesses in the chat, now would be a good time to do it as we do our approach to Bayport. Positive or negative number does not matter. What do you think my landing rate in this Cessna 170 at Bayport is going to be? There are no prizes to give away if you win. It's just pride, but pride is a beautiful thing, chat. Never discount pride. Oh, there it is. Shoot, I almost bypassed it. It's right there. I almost went right past it, chat. Whee! Bayport traffic, Cessna 124, Mike Charlie, shoreline for 18, Bayport traffic. That's where we're looking. So here's Browns River. Follow this to the Sans Souci Lakes. It's inbound. We need to stay below 700 feet. Oh, hi, Delilah. Delilah, come barging in right at the right time. I'm doing a landing, girl. You can join me for that. There is the Sans Souci Lakes right off our nose. Okay, positive or negative number in the chat. Does not matter which way you go. What do you think my landing rate is going to be? You can win some pride. There's the field right here, Bayport Aerodrome. See if I can get a decent landing in this thing. Bayport traffic, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, downwind 18 Bayport. Darcy blows, we gotta stay away from the houses, the luxurious homes off our left. And we cannot cross Sunrise Highway right here. Do not cross. You want to get as close as you can to Sunrise Highway before you make that right base to final turn. Give yourself plenty of space to get lined up at the end of the turn, but again, do not cross the highway. So I'm going to manage my power here well. Good night. You can close it, so I'll let her out when she's ready. I had a feeling I was underbanking it, chat, and I was. Oh, correct. The right runway, which is the east runway, is the one that's open in our buddy Sean's scenery here, so I gotta get down. Clear the trees. There we go. Oh, 128. And a couple of bounces just for show. That was definitely not one of my better approaches into Bayport, chat. I've done way better than that in the past, but it's the first time I've done it in this airplane, so I'm going to cut myself some slack. It was a 2-bouncer there, snow skier, so it wasn't exactly my best work. Bayport traffic, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie is clear of runway 18 Bayport. Titanium Druid's going to be the closest with his 117 guess, that's for sure. We're going to go right to the ramp area over here. Now we're going to have to probably go and fix our landing gear struts after the couple bounce landing. It's not a Venturi Pido, okay. Let's go ahead and set the old park and brake here. Park and brake, park and brake. There we go. And we will shut her down. Look at how she wiggles while it shuts down. That's awesome. Neat truck and hangers. She's a looker. Yes, she is. We'll go into the showcase cam. We'll show off the airplane a little bit, and we'll show off your scenery here too, buddy. Snow Skier, by the way, in chat is the one who developed this Bayport Aerodrome scenery in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. You know what? Let me get a link for it real quick. Give me 1 second, chat. Here we go. For those of you that fly Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and you want to get the link to this scenery that our buddy Snow Skier in the chat has made, there it is right there. That's the link. You can download it for yourself. It's a great little scenery. You have the windsock with the little boundaries around it. He's got the hangars over here, a couple of chairs, and a little truck action going on. Look at that beautiful airplane. That does not come included with the scenery, chat. You're going to have to buy that yourself off of Carinado from the marketplace on Flight Sim 2020. Nice little cabin here with the porta-john. No shortage of cones. My buddy Sean is very big when it comes to the cone distribution in his sceneries. But you can clearly see that it's the east runway in his scenery that is the open runway, where the west side is closed. Since they only use half of it each year, to kind of make sure the grass doesn't get ruined. And then we'll come over here to the north hangars. There actually is a picnic table right there in real life too, chat, by the way. Bunch of chairs, hangers, and you got the American flag. So again, that was probably one of my absolute worst approaches into Bayport in terms of being way overshooting the final turn, and then not a very good landing either. I'm still struggling with the landings in this 170. I got a lot to learn. I'm not very good at tail wheels, chat. I'm a terrible tail wheel pilot in the sim, apparently. And I have never flown them in real life, so that might be part of the reason why. But I still got a lot of work to do when it comes to landing this particular airplane. But that's going to do it for me tonight. My parents are going to sleep. I got to go into noise abatement. So I am going to leave you guys right there with this nice little sun flared view. I'm going to get on the other side because the sun flare is already pissing me off, actually. I'll give you that view while we say our goodbyes. Throttle Junkie, Eric, Flight Pilot 23, thank you all for the subs tonight. I really appreciate the 3 of you guys. Head in the Clouds 2020, I'm sorry, but you're just coming as I'm leaving, my friend. Great looking airplane. You're going to have to catch the rerun on this one because I'm about to call it good. So thanks for coming in today, though. I appreciate it. That is a hell of a view right there. This plane, the background of Bayport, everything. It's just beautiful. Alright. Again, Throttle Junkie, Eric, Flight Pilot 23, thank you for the resubs. I appreciate it. Thank you for the scenery as always, Snow Skeeter. I always love flying into Bayport on both this sim and then Downwind Sim has an X-Plane 11 version. That's really great too. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all the guys that were watching the stream tonight. I know a bunch of you are Virtuous Safe Flying Club peoples. If you're not already a member of the Virtuous Safe Flying Club, you need to get your butt into the Virtuous Safe Flying Club. I'm going to bring the link to the Discord there. If you're a VATSIM member and you enjoy doing GA flying, kind of like you saw tonight, click that link to the Discord, read the welcome page, read the rule page. We'd like to have you aboard. Thank you for the ATC that I got from my NYARTC controllers tonight. We had Andreas, William, LaGuardia, John himself. Appreciate those guys as well, helping me get down the Skyline tonight. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. Who is streaming tonight? Quite a few people are streaming tonight. Our good buddy Slan Alpha Adventures, he's streaming. Let's go ahead and give a raid to our good friend Rob Schreeman Jr., Slan Alpha Adventures on Twitch. I'm going to get it started. Thank you all for coming in today. Have a great night. Stay safe.